Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the February general reading for the sign of Leo. All right, my lovely Leos, you're up next. And this is a new series that I'm doing. I'm going to be uploading monthly general outlooks as well as the monthly love outlooks. And so for February, I want to get the general outlooks out over the next few days, and you guys are up. So again, this could be in any area. This, depending on what the cards are that come out, this could be in the area of career or private life, home life, family life, healing, love life, whatever case may be. We're just going to take a look. And please do remember, this reading can't be for all Leos. So just take what applies to you and let the rest go. All right, guys. So straight out, we have a victory, Six of Wands. Covered by the Chariot. Nice. Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Right, so somebody's been hurt. Let's move these down a little bit more. Eight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Wands. Emperor energy. Three of Cups. Four of Swords and Three of Wands. So a couple of threes, wow. Couple of fours, couple of threes. And you have the Chariot covering you in the center. At the bottom of the deck, you have 10 of Swords energy. So let's get right into your center card and your covering energy. Leo, this month is going to feel like a real sense of victory in a lot of ways, right? Six of Wands is a victory. It's a public victory. Six is also the number for harmony, and this victory is really going to mark a very harmonious period going forward for you, right? It's going to mark a time, I think, in your life over the next few months where you're going to be feeling harmonious in terms of your personal relationships, in terms of the environment around you. You're certainly working towards a more harmonious environment. But this victory is really going to enthuse you and fill you with a huge amount of self-confidence. And I think it's going to increase your ambition to sort of put even more positivity and energy into your future, because you're covered with Chariot energy. And Chariot, it's the 7 major arcana. 7 is the number for our ultimate wishes and our hopes and dreams, right? Number 17 is the Star card. So it's really, here we're talking about this intense desire to sort of follow your ambition that you have for your life, to really sort of be much more intentional about going after your dream, going after the path that you know is your destined path, whatever that may be. And I think this victory that you experience this month, Leo, is going to be like a real feeling of sort of confidence building in that area, right? It's going to feel like you are, you're suddenly feeling more sort of enthusiastic, more optimistic. Self-confidence always comes with a victory. But this is a very good one for you, and this is really sort of gets you all keyed up. And it could be that you are coming off of sort of a period of having been hurt. In the back of your mind, you do have a Three of Swords. And it's quite interesting. I think for a lot of you, Leos, you've been really sort of disappointed in a relationship with someone where the communication just turned out to be not what you expected. It turned out to be quite sort of painful in some ways. It could be that you were dealing with someone who was just very mean to you, or someone who was just very difficult to get along with, someone who maybe lied to you a lot, right? Three of Swords is oftentimes a card for third-party energy, but that really is a symptom of someone lying to you. Ultimately, it feels very much a real blow to our ego. A lot of times, whatever happened in this scenario, whatever happened to break the loyalty, right, to break the bond. And for some of you Leos, this has really been in the back of your mind for quite some time. Yet you have been putting a huge brave face on, in the sense that You continue to throw a lot of your emotions into your work. And this is certainly for a Leo who's been continuing to sort of thrive as far as their career and business is concerned. Whatever pain you had in the back of your mind or in the back of sort of your heart, rather, with this situation, you put all of your other energy into sort of really focusing on your career, really focusing on stacking your cash and your coin. It's really, really interesting. And this month, you get a victory in that area, right? Your victory kind of comes in for some of you. You're going to absolutely, I think the victory is going to come in both areas. I think it may even come in the area of this situation in the sense that you may feel vindicated, or you may get some information that sort of makes you realize that you're the one who actually came out the better for this situation, because whoever did this to you is very toxic, you know. You definitely feel like you were the victim of this. And certainly part of this victory, I think, is going to either be seeing the other person and feeling like, yeah, wow, I'm really so over it. And really seeing that you have gone so much further without this energy in your life. So it's going to feel like a real vindication over this, as well as a victory in terms of your career, because you've been putting so much work into it. And I think it feels really good for you, Leo, right? There may be an increase of abundance or rewards coming in February. Eight of Pentacles is the energy you come into this month with, and Knight of Wands is the energy you kind of rounded off with. And Eight of Pentacles is a real feeling of being very focused, Leo. You've been very disciplined. You haven't been, some of you may not have been going out and spending a lot of money, or you may not have been partying, or whatever the case may be. You've been just very sort of restricted on yourself. And you've been very disciplined, right? And that's what 8 is the number for. It's the number for discipline and strength, right? And discipline is just putting boundaries on ourselves and adhering to them, right? And in any case, the 8 of Pentacles really talks about mastering your craft. So whatever it is you've been focusing on, certainly it looks to do with your career or your money making, right? Whatever endeavors you're doing to make your money or your coin, or even if you're an artist, if you make your money out of your art, you've really been working really hard on that. And this is the energy you just start February off with, this really intense work feeling, right? And it's a work ethic, I guess, right? And so, but you round the month off with a Knight of Wands, and that's a real feeling of even being more sort of enthusiastic, even being more passionate about what you're doing. And I think, of course, that is natural because these rewards start to come in, victory starts to come in, and so what started as just really hard work now becomes a real passionate, enjoyable love, because let's face it, you know, when it's only hard work, when you're only first starting off, or when you're working towards a goal, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But when the rewards begin to come in, when sort of victories begin to come in, and you begin to feel sort of vindicated in your hard work, it can really re-enthuse you. It can really sort of reinvigorate your passion for it as well, because now you're really beginning to see the fruit of your labor. And it's necessary, of course, for all of us to at some point see that there is a payoff in all of this work we're putting in. And so you get your payoff in February, Libra, and I think it really helps you transcend everything. It really helps you to get over this situation here where somebody really hurt you. Something that perhaps has, like I said, been lingering in the back of your mind for quite some time. You come into this month with an Emperor energy, and so your attitude towards your whole month is one of stabilization. All you really care about right now, Libra, is maintaining your stability, getting order in your life, right? Again, working towards this objective is something you have really been putting a lot of energy into. It's certainly something that you see here with this Chariot. You're seeing this as something that is your life career, your life path. So you're really putting a lot into it. This is not just checking a box, or, you know, punching a card 9 to 5 and going to a job that you're not invested in. This entire work effort that you're doing, Leo, is part of your, excuse me, part of this path that you're on right now for your life. And that's why I say it's a very important creative career or business that you've built up. In any case, this month, your attitude is all about Emperor energy. The Emperor is the card for Aries, just as the Chariot is the card for Cancer, but that's That's just an aside. It doesn't have anything to do with, you necessarily dealing with an Aries in any way, but it is that essence in that right now you are trying to achieve something new, right? Aries is sort of the one who goes out in the world and conquers new territory. And so the Emperor is a person who is really going after an objective that oftentimes involves conquering new territory, right? Gaining more abundance, gaining more stability, gaining more power. And again, the way you're addressing everything this month is with this energy. You want to be stable. You want to have a strong power base, and this is what you're working towards. And you're being very single-minded about it. The energy that's coming back to you is the Three of Cups. So there is a feeling of celebration that comes in at some point this month. And I think that part of that is part of this victory that you have here that also is going to make you feel sort of better about this whole situation you went through down here, this kind of heartache that you've been holding on to. I think you're going to be feeling a lot better about it because part of your victory this month is also that you're going to be celebrating with a lot of friends. You're going to have a lot of people around you. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are really sort of interested in you in February. Not to say that they aren't always Leo, but I'm saying that you have a lot of really harmonious, happy relationships going on when you do go out, because now rewards are coming in. You may be beginning to go out a little bit in February and sort of celebrate, right? Celebrate your victory. And all of this is kind of really also increasing your self-confidence and really helping you get over this Three of Swords. And it's interesting because I think February is going to mark the end of this heartache because you do have a Ten of Swords here. And that just indicates that this month for you, Leo, if you're resonating with this reading, this month does mark the end of a period of struggling in your life, perhaps in areas where you've had a lot of arguments or fights or heartaches or heartbreaks. In any case, it's been a real struggle, and it's kind of the end of that. Ten of Swords has been showing up for a lot of readings lately. And for my collective, I have been saying in 2019, towards the end of 2019 in my readings, that 2020 just has this feeling of really being a real sort of vindicative year. Everyone who's been working very hard towards objectives are realizing them. And even today, this is now my fourth reading, my fourth general reading of the day. And it's the same again. I'm pretty sure Ten of Swords has shown up for each and every reading so far in some way or another. And so it's quite interesting that everyone is kind of resonating up, and you're doing the same, Leo. You are also coming out of a period of struggle that you're no longer having to go back to. You're resonating higher with work. You're getting your victory coming in. You're well and truly on the path that destiny has laid out for you with this Chariot energy. You're certainly preparing for more and more, I want to say, accomplishments to come, because Chariot really talks about an ambitious path that we have, a path that we set on, that we plan to be on for quite some time, that is part of our life's journey. And so this is very important to us. It's part of our vision. It's about having a real vision for what you want in your life, and really setting out intentionally towards that. And so for a lot of you, you're experiencing that. This month, you also have a Four of Swords, and you round off with Three of Wands. So Four of Swords is in your position of what you really would like to have most, what your real ultimate objective is for the month, what you hope to achieve. And it can also be the same position, this position for your fears. And I think this month, a lot of you are just hoping that you're going to be making all of the right decisions. Certainly when it comes to this business and this path you're on, I think a lot of you are very concerned with making sure that you're making the right strategic moves. You realize that there's a certain amount, I guess I want to say you're grateful for where you have gotten to so far, but you have so much more to go that you want to achieve, and you just want to make the most of it. So this month, you're also really hoping to have sort of the right ideas, right? You're hoping to make the right moves, to make the right decisions, whether they be for your career, for your business, for your art, whatever the case may be. And that's fine. That's a normal way to be. I think the best way is to keep that in mind, to Maintain a sense of stability. Again, this is a 4 card, and you have 4 down here with the Emperor. So this is a real feeling in February for Leo that you're wanting to sort of build a very stable power base. You're not interested in making any sudden decisions that could perhaps threaten that stability. Your ultimate aim this month is to really make sure that everything is stable to such a degree that it's not going to break down again, right? That you perhaps have a certain amount of financial stability, certain amount of creative stability, etc., etc. So you are being very careful and methodical. And it's a good way to be. You round the month off with the 3 of Wands, which is a real feeling of perhaps having to wait and be a bit more patient with the next step. There's information coming in. Three is the number for virtue, and 3 of Wands is the card for patience in a lot of ways. It's time to really take a good look at your options and look at everything that's happening around you before you make your next decision. And these 2 cards are very complementary because they're going to work together very well. And it just means that a lot is happening in February, certainly with this victory still coming in. And you kind of resonating up from an 8 of Pentacles to a Queen of Pentacles, certainly with the Knight of Wands. All of this feels like a real sort of increase in abundance and increase in action. But certainly by the end of the month with that 3 of Wands, life will be maybe forcing you to pause for a minute before you make your next move. And usually, like I say, this is a timing card a lot of times. It can indicate that something else is some other sort of destined or fated sort of event, meeting, person that needs to come into your life is at a different timing than yours. So you're having to slow down to allow for time for them to come in. It always seems to be one of these sort of energies to this card as well. And usually when you do have that event come in or that person, you realize oftentimes there's an aha moment of feeling like, oh wow, I'm so glad that this happened. You know, oh wow, a feeling of, you know, like I'm glad I didn't move on or make this other decision because I really needed to, you know, either see this, know this, meet this person, whatever this event is, it needed to happen. And it always feels very much like it's very fortuitous, you know, but it's oftentimes that happens in this type of moment where we're forced to slow down a little bit. Let me pull your clarifiers and then we are going to call this a reading for you, Leo. General outlook this month, again, to do with abundance, right? An increase in your material gain. Certainly here we're talking about a situation that also involves your passion. So this is going to be maybe for someone who does something very artistic, right? That is also tied up with their career, or someone who, whatever your career is, it is something that you feel strongly about, something you feel passionate about. And you feel like it's your purpose to be in that field, right? So this is very much a career reading as well as a life, sort of a life wish reading, right? Are you manifesting your wish for your life? And for some of you this month, you absolutely are. You know, you're absolutely going on that path with that chariot to where you want to go. And there's a lot of healing coming in this month for you with this 3 of Swords, so it's quite good. There's the Fool, new journey, and there's your Strength card. There's the Aeon, and there is, wow, the Tower. All right, so here we talk about the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Wow. All right, so again, the Knight of Wands here is the same actually as the King of Wands. It's a little bit different, but still, we have a Tower moment coming in. This is quite interesting. Well, let's start all the way up here with this Queen of Pentacles. Again, this is a new stage in your life. The Fool has showed up for quite a few readings so far. And for you, Leo, this feels like, yes, indeed, a whole new level in your life in this area of your career or what you've been building towards. Certainly, if you have a business, perhaps your business has gone into a whole new level of sort of production. And this is a whole new sort of adventure for you. It feels new. It feels new because perhaps you haven't been at this level before, but it also is something that you're ready for, that's an adventure for you, and you have already learned a certain amount of wisdom up until now that you can use in this situation. But this is definitely a new experience for you, Leo. This could be like for a Leo out there who's this year going to, and certainly this month in February, going to be maybe for the first time experiencing a lot of success coming in, right? A lot of success financially or with your career, right? Or your art, right? In some kind of way. And it feels really like a huge moment for you, right? You have the lust card and strength down here. So again, this realization of putting boundaries in place and understanding the nature of perhaps why this happened. Right now, I think you've learned a lot by this work that you've been doing and being very disciplined. At the same time, strength comes in to remind you that, you know what, as long as you put boundaries in place with people, as long as you enforce those boundaries, you can live the life you want to live and enjoy yourself, right? And sort of, you know, revel in the strength that you have. You know, when you have true strength and you understand your strength and you are able to enforce boundaries around you, this is when you can live life really to the fullest, because you're not worried about anyone sucking your energy. You're not worried about sort of, you know, people coming into your life and ruining them or manipulating you. You're not worried about those things because you've established so much strength and control in your life. You've learned how to put boundaries in place that you can actually enjoy yourself. You know, you can do whatever you really want because you are in control. And so no one else you don't allow anyone else to take any of your strength from you. Right. And so in the Thoth deck, the strength card is named lust, because when you have true strength, you can really live and enjoy your life without worrying, right? That you're going to somehow lose yourself to someone else, right? Because the strength is there. Now the Aeon card comes in, and this is the card for judgment, I think, for a lot of you. In the Thoth deck, this is the card for judgment. And it's this feeling of really being able to look at a situation from all sides, right? Beginning to understand that oh gosh, that, you know, it's time to let go of perhaps some overjudgmentality of yourself, right? Aeon talks about being able to go back to certain situations in our lives where we may have only sort of perceived them or looked at them through our own sort of narrow point of view, and really, you know, learning now to understand that there are multiple points of view. It can be that certain experiences, Leo, that you've been having over this last period of time when you've been working a lot have really opened your eyes to some other situations in your life where you may have been a bit overcritical, or you may have been a little bit overjudgmental over others or even yourself, right? And so this is a real feeling of empathy coming in, compassion coming in, understanding coming in. And again, this is why this is interesting that there also seems to be such a passionate component to this reading, Leo. Because for a lot of you, this is also about learning a really big life lesson. It's also about learning a lot about your own passion, your own strength. Remember, lust is still the card for Leo. So you know, even though in the Thoth deck it is a different number and it's called lust instead of strength, this is still your card and this is still associated with your energy. And so again, you know, you showing up in your own reading only proves that this is very much about you really attaining something big in this period, right? A life lesson, some wisdom, some understanding, a deeper level of understanding of yourself as well. And you round your mouth off with a Tower moment coming over that Knight of Wands. Again, remember what I said earlier is that I feel like by the end of February, you're going to feel even much more passionate and enthusiastic about what you've up until now been really just grinding away at, right? But this Tower moment, I think, is going to be a real understanding for you. For some of you, you're really going to wake up to the fact that indeed this path is really truly your life's path. Or there's some other understanding that you're going to wake up to that's really going to sort of, it's going to be shocking for you, but it's only going to serve to, you know, invigorate your Knight of Wands even more. It's only going to fuel your passion even more, fuel your confidence even more. So this is a positive Tower moment coming in, because you have a Knight of Wands, which is a very positive forward energy of being optimistic, right? To passionate, capable, knowing what to do next, right? And being able to put it into action. So any Tower moment that's coming in during this February period towards the end of the month is only going to invigorate you more, and it will be very exciting. It could even be, I feel strongly that this is Tower moment is going to serve as sort of an eye opener as to how talented you really are at something, or how much you are really meant to follow this path. It could be a real feeling of suddenly acceptance, or perhaps an understanding, a real true understanding that this is going to work out for you, right? It could be just that your business increases so much, or attention increases so much on your business. In any case, I think it's going to serve, it'll be a big moment. It'll be quite shocking, as Tower moments are, but it'll certainly serve to sort of even spur your Knight of Wands on further, you know, to go on with your goal. It's very nice. It's very strong. Certainly a real month of reaffirmation, Leo. And I'm going to call it that. This is your reading for February. This is your general outlook. I do hope it resonated for you, right? This outlook is not going to be for everyone, but this is, again, just another reading, fourth one in a row for my collective, that really indicates a beautiful increase in a lot of areas, certainly in healing also, but certainly in your life's path, and certainly with regard to your career and your finances increasing. All right, guys, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out your other videos in the description. You want to get a private reading, you can follow the links at the top of your screen. But for right now, Leo, have a wonderful February, and I'll see you March for your March general outlook. Bye-bye now.